All right, I'm Steven. This is Sia, and we're doing a deck tech.
Yep.
And so, Sia, what deck are you running today?
I'm playing Grixis Delver. So,
Delver with no Delver.
Delver
right?
with no Delver. Yeah,
okay.
but the same pattern of tempo. Played a broken Force of Will, Daze cards.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, so why did you choose this deck in particular? Because I know you've played other decks before, and you did fairly well. But what made you choose this particular deck?
This was my introduction to Legacy. I picked up Delver, so I just stuck with Delver. I was playing the Rug version of it with the Questing Druid before the Crazy Frog was printed.
Yes.
So, and I just switched over, and the deck is better than ever I played with it. So I'm relatively new to Legacy, so Delver seems fun. It's a good place to be.
Okay.
Yeah, the blue cards are good.
Okay. Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, I noticed that there is no Delver with this.
There is no Delver,
right?
Yeah.
So was this just replaced by Tamiyo, or was it like another reason why you were like, I didn't want... what's the reason why you didn't want to go Delver in the first place?
Yeah, I still am having a tough time deciding if it's a mistake or not, because it's not really a proactive threat as much, because it's not like aggressive. Yeah, exactly. But I have ultimated it numerous times, so I have replaced the Delver plan with the Tamiyo, and I'm playing 3 Murktides, which I think is normal, and with the 4 DRCs, 4 Frogs, and 1 of Brazen Borrower. So it does lower the number of proactive threats you can have, but it is excellent in the Delver mirrors. It's good against blue-black scam. Just as soon as you flip it, it's a huge clock for your opponent to go through. It doesn't fight on the same axis of like killing them with damage, but it is still very good. So yeah, I'm not playing any Delvers. I'm playing any odd choices. I'm playing Unholy Heats.
Okay.
Ideally, I would say currently, because every deck is playing Psychic Frog, I would tend to want to play more Fatal Pushes instead in main board, but I only have 2 Underground Seas, so I did not want to splash for Fatal Push, so I'm playing a 1 of Basic. But yeah, just normal Delver stuff. Unholy Heat is my replacement for Fatal Push, as I said.
Yeah.
And a 1 of Stifle, just to scare your opponents. It's I don't know.
The first one is the best one, right?
Yeah,
because they'll respect it. They'll try to respect the future ones, and you're like, haha, play around.
And then it's the first card I sideboard out. So yeah, pretty normal main board. I guess I'm playing 1 of Basic. I think most decks are playing 3 Undergrounds, 3 Volcanics. It is pretty decent in the mirrors and I guess other blue decks, Wasteland decks to open on the basics. But
Okay, no, awesome. So in this meta, what made you choose this particular deck?
Right.
Like if you were, because obviously you can choose other decks, right?
Absolutely. So I would say, obviously, we all know the blue-black deck is the most broken deck. And this deck has a decent matchup against it most of the time. Obviously, there's like Nuts Hands where they just, they do their reanimate thing, turn 2, and they have a force backup. But in general, it's fighting on the same axis. Both decks are also a Psychic Frog deck. So this deck can do a good job kind of playing around the reanimate stuff after game 2. So the raw power level is a little bit higher because the reanimate deck, if they take out their reanimate package with the Atraxas and stuff, they're going to have a tough time like keeping up with value, because if you're playing more Murktides main board, DRC is not a bad threat. So in general, I just felt more comfortable playing this deck, and I thought everyone will be ready for blue-black, possibly even in their main board with Graveyard Hate and stuff. So just a decent blue deck, which is honestly, I mean, we were talking about this before, but this will be the next iteration of whatever the... So that's the deck. Yeah, Delver is fun. Delver is good. Everyone should try Del.
I mean, it is a top tier, like top deck archetype, right?
For sure.
For a reason, right? Yeah, because you're playing with cheap threats and you back it up with Daze, Wasteland, you just, like the disruption is all there, right?
Exactly. There's no awful matchups. You're not like 20-80 in any matchup. Or I think most of the time you're not. So, it's fine. Yeah. Okay. Thankfully, there were not too many Eldrazi's I saw today. So that's the only deck I was super scared of. But in general,
okay. I was just going to ask you, like, what matchups do you want to face or any don't want to face? So you don't want to face Eldrazi then?
Eldrazi is the only. Maybe it is fine, but in general, I've had a very tough time against it. Even with Price of Progress or like Blood Moon effects I used to play before. I am playing Consigned to Memory specifically for Eldrazi. I mean, it's fine against Painter, but it helps a lot. A big part of the Eldrazi deck is cast triggers.
Yes.
Which just is devastating. So I can't do anything. And they're like playing chalices and whatever. So all the cards that are generally good against Delver. So that's the deck I would say I'm scared the most. Okay. I know blue-black is good, but in general, I found it to be pretty even.
Okay.
That's the matchup. So I'm scared.
Fair enough. What do you want to play against? Like,
what do I want to play against?
Yeah, what do you want? Like this deck, like bam, you just want to beat what?
I think this deck is pretty good in the mirror because of the Tamiyo versions of the card that I'm playing. So I feel confident in the mirror.
Trying to flip Tamiyo ASAP in the ultimate, huh?
Ultimate, and then pitch all the cards to Frog and try to find. It's still obviously lands is not a historically good matchup for this deck, but it's fine. Let's see other popular decks. Painter. Painter is also scary. Painter has
main deck blasts.
It's incredibly good. So that's another deck. So I guess the meta is ready for all these blue Frog decks. So there's no matchup where I'm like, oh, I'm super excited to play this. But in general, the card quality is so high that even in the unfavorable matchups, your card quality will just most of the time get you through the finish line.
Yeah, I mean, I see this as like a 55-60 matchup, like overall, right? Which is why you probably want this because it's so. No one wants to say it's so about like average, but then like your lows aren't very low, but your highs aren't very high either, right?
Exactly.
So it's but then it's not like 50-50. You're still favored in most matchups, so
there's two other decks, the Nadu deck and the 4-color deck, which I think are both not great matchups for this deck either. I mean, you saw me get decimated against the 4-color Beans deck, So that deck you have to be extremely quick, and if you don't have it, you're just dead. And the Nadu deck I haven't played against that much. I think on paper it doesn't seem terrible. Like I'm playing Submerge obviously with Nadu in mind technically, but that is also a deck if it picks up more traction, people clean up a bit. It can definitely be a big contender in the format. The Frog format.
Okay. Well, I think thank you for your comments.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you.
And good luck in the next rounds.
Thank you. Bye.